What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into the games tonight. I know they start pretty soon, but we don't have a lot of plays, so it's not really too much. For the NCAA tournament, we got 4 plays, and nothing crazy with these, honestly. I like Arkansas to cover because if you watched my prior videos, I really like the teams that are red and white. And there's a couple teams that are red and white, red and black left in the tournament, so I like Arkansas to cover. I do like Michigan State because I just think a lot of people, break-even line are going to be on Kansas State. FAU, Tennessee, I like Tennessee. I don't think you're going to have all upsets. And same thing with Gonzaga, UCLA. I think UCLA will hold that one down. So nothing crazy. Like I said, there's only 4 games going on today. And then for the NBA, we only have 4. So that kind of also changed how I approached the NBA schedule. Knicks Magic, right off the bat, very suspicious. As I said, I think they're going to keep the Magic close to the pack. And sure enough, now we have them playing a pretty banged-up Knicks team, and it's basically break-even odds. So I like the Magic in a straight-up win for that game. Cavs, Nets, I like the Nets for the cover. They just played not too long ago. They're trying to establish both of these teams as gritty, so I don't think we're going to see one wipe the other out. The Cavs did just cover the Nets with this exact spread in Cleveland. I think the Nets are going to get it back, and good upset value, but I'll just take the cover. But speaking of upset value, I like the Hornets to beat the Pelicans. I could take the cover, but if they lose, they're probably going to get blown out. Whereas I feel like they could very well win this game. I can see a lot of public parlays, and they just kind of throw the Pelicans money line in there because it's such an easy take, quote easy. Or even the spread. Thunder's, Clippers, Cavs, Nets, those are harder games to call. So even for 4 points, you're getting decent. I feel like you're gonna have way more people taking the Thunder for upset value, or the Brooklyn Nets for upset value, over trying to take the Hornets, who are just decidedly bad. So in this game, I actually do, and the Hornets losing keeps the West, or the Pelicans losing keeps the West, like I said, very interesting. So as you can see, there's just a bunch of teams, whereas the East, right now, the Magic are still in it, and that's really what you need, the 13th seed to be in it. Now, basically, it's anyone can do it in the East. They're only 2 games out. And the Pelicans, I still have them getting in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're, this is definitely a great pick. I just think of the 4 games, the least people are going to be on the Hornets here. And it's not like the Pelicans have looked amazing. They started them all looking strong. And, without Zion, they don't got Alvarado in. He's kind of their backbone. They do play like a different team. So I can see them explaining away. And the Thunder, Clippers, I like the Clippers to cover. I think they go back and forth. The Thunder just beat them. Now they got no Paul George, but they're laying an extra point. Tell me how that makes sense. So just when I see stuff like that, it makes me like the Clippers. And as you can see by the title, I just wanted to hit the games. That way, if you're just here for that, you can go ahead and lock them in. But as I'm going over that, I also wanted to go into the Mavericks because it is pretty funny. So we did good yesterday. We went 8-2 in the NBA, and that's picking 3 underdogs too. We picked the Bulls to just straight up win. We picked the Blazers to straight up win. So we had a really good day. The Blazers did straight up win. I figured it was going to be a win or a loss there. I try and reserve my underdog picks for ones that I feel like aren't going to cover anyway. And we picked pretty darn good because we got the Hawks cover. We could have played that money line. We would have lost. Same with the Mavs. So speaking of Mavs, so now they are protesting because the referee may have got a call wrong. A referee may have got a call wrong in the third quarter that gave the Warriors 2 extra points. And we've seen a dozen more ridiculous plays, probably that game alone. And it's just funny how now, this one stupid play that happened again in the third quarter, Cubans protesting it, and everybody is saying how it's the worst call ever. And I think they're planting the seeds. Why else would they do that? Because they did the exact same thing in the NFL. So now we ask ourselves, is this a coincidence? Is it really a coincidence when the NFL had the exact same problem? And they literally had to explain away how bad these refs are, how trash these refs are. And now we're getting the NBA telling us, oh, yeah, let's protest the game because the referees are that inadequate. And again, we see horrible calls on every single play. But now Mark Cuban's acting like this is the first time. And Lucas saying the referee got paid. Like, they know the referees aren't getting paid. They know a referee is not doing what Tim Donaghy did because look what happened to Tim Donaghy. You don't go rogue on the league. They would catch you so fast. And that's why I put it on the head officiator. I think it was Scott Foster in this game. Oh no, he was in the Lakers game. I don't know even who it was, but they're the ones who might be given a little more instruction than the other officials. But anyone believing it's just the referees at this point, I don't know how else to convince you guys. It's not. The referees are like the lowest. You have to look at it from just a status perspective. Like, who do you think has higher status? Any random referee or LeBron James? The guy with a brand around his face. The guy with way more money than these guys. So, the referees or the owners that run the league. Do you think the referees can just screw over Mark Cuban and get away with it? It's not going to happen. So, now I'm just showing you which ones I like for leg twos. I like the Magic straight up to win as a leg two. And I like the Nets cover as a leg two. I'd probably say the Nets cover is probably my favorite. I don't know. There we go. The Nets cover is probably my favorite play of the entire night because I just feel like, a good bit of people are going to be on the Cavs in this game. There's only 4 games. So with only 4 games, people, it kind of, I like it better sometimes because I feel like it decreases the combinations of parlay combinations. I can kind of do in my head and see where most public parlays are going to be. For example, the Knicks are probably going to be holding together a lot of parlays. I can't imagine the public's going to be pounding the Magic here, even with the Knicks having a bunch of injured players, just because of the way these two teams are perceived. So that's why I like the Magic a lot. And then the Clippers, I'd like to cover there. They just played, and the Thunder just beat them. We picked the Thunder to win too. So again, it's just picking the right games. When we feel like they're gonna pay the public. I find it odd. Like I said, the Thunder just beat them. We picked the Thunder to beat them. They did, and here we are, like 2 days later, 3 days later, and the only difference is now the Clippers are down Paul George, and they picked up a point and a half. Now, maybe there's a guy out for the Thunder that I'm not aware of. Like I said, ESPN's they're the biggest liars. Yesterday, they were saying how AD was going to be reevaluated. Like, this guy was an 80-year-old man trying to just, like, rehab his knee, and he was immobile at this point and decrepit. They were, like, leading on. And then they had him as doubtful. Then he played. So, like, I really can't go by ESPN's injury report. It's laughable. They will have you believe a guy is definitely not playing. They will actually rule players out, and they'll be healthy as a horse. So, like, again, maybe that's something, like, they don't want us looking into, these fake injuries, all this other crap. Like I said, blaming the officials here is just another reason. Either people are looking it up and saying dumb stuff is happening, and they're annoyed about it, so that's why they came out with this, or they just know that there's going to be nothing but lunacy with triple overtime games and all these ridiculous things to end the season, and for the postseason, they're just planting the seeds. Hey guys, don't look at us. These referees just suck. Kind of same script for the NFL. So we'll see what happens there. Like, nothing crazy, but it's the first big story in the NBA in a while. They're trying to make it a big story. I haven't looked at any of the headlines today. I just found it comical last night when they were all crying after the game. There hasn't been closer games that referees have screwed up in the past. Like I said, if you watch every single game, you see these guys they'll do anywhere between 12 and 16 points because of bad calls, and they never complain. But this time they all decided to come out in unison. I wouldn't be surprised if like every NBA player on Twitter was complaining, just because if you notice, that's what they do. When the NFL players come out and the NBA players come out, they come out all in unison with the same message. Like literally, like they're just puppets being told, okay, tweet now, Ja, tweet now, Steph, okay, tweet this now, AD. It's the same shit, same tweets, just kind of spun a different way. But yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to see it's not just the NFL. All these leagues are scripted. They all basically follow a similar formula, and they just, in my opinion, it's to optimize the entertainment and to make sure that the public is losing as much as possible. I'm going to go into the FanDuel relationship with the league pretty soon. It is interesting if you think about it that the league has essentially monopolized one book and you can say DraftKings too, but these leagues have it's essentially they're telling you who you can only use these two platforms. The rest are illegal. So I'm gonna do a couple dives into DraftKings, FanDuel, and how they're able to get that distinction, whereas the other books aren't, and what the difference is. And again, I think people are just starting to see how everything kind of works together. It's a one hand washes the other type of relationship here with Vegas and these leagues. It's nothing that it doesn't have to be a crazy conspiracy theory. George Carlin always had a great quote, the greatest comedian ever. You don't need an official conspiracy when common interests align, and that's all you have here. You have common interests that have aligned: greedy owners, greedy players, greedy refs, and greedy people in Vegas. So, and greedy, don't forget about the greedy TV networks that want the best ratings. They all work together. It's basically an unspoken bond. They know what needs to be done in order for all these guys to keep their deals and keep getting paid. So yeah, we did good yesterday, 8-2. Not a giant fan of four games, just 4 games, because it could go either way. We could have a really good day or it could be a rough day. But because, again, 3 of these have some pretty big playoff ramifications, I think we have a good day in the NBA. And for basketball, I think I've been liking Arkansas from, like I said, red and white teams. So Arkansas, Houston, Alabama, red and black teams. Those are the teams that I like going forward. And the other ones, I just tried to look at the public. Kansas State didn't make much sense to me, etc. So nothing crazy. Like I said, no leg threes tonight because we did good yesterday. We pushed our only leg 3. And there's none that I love tonight to run as leg 3. The Magic and the Nets are my favorite plays, those two. But I don't love them as leg 3s. I can certainly wait for a game that I'm almost positive that a certain team will have to win or lose. And the public money looks suspicious as well. But this Magic one, if you had to play a leg 3, like I said yesterday with the Lakers game, I played a leg 2. Obviously, it would have won as a leg 3. I told you guys, if I had to pick a basketball game to make a leg 3, it would have been the Lakers. And today it would be the Magic. So we've been doing good with the Magic, and we've been doing good with the Knicks too, honestly. The Knicks have paid us really good this year. For those people that are interested in numbers, I can go into like a whole chart of how much each team has profited us. The Lakers have made us so much. We've profited a net 25, 30 units off the Lakers alone. And there's teams that have lost us a lot too, like Tulsa. But, that's more deep stuff. If you guys are more into the numbers, let me know. But I want to just get these out there so you guys can make your plays. Only got 8 today. And again, we had a great day yesterday. So if we can even do half what we did yesterday, that'd be awesome. So take care and happy earnings.